Today I'm making Erling Haaland as short as possible, and then I'll have 5 attempts to create a formation that can get our short king to break Alan Shearer's record of 34 goals in a Premier League season. Oh my word, look how small he is compared to those centre backs. This challenge is going to be nearly impossible.
There is no way Haaland can score 34 goals at his normal size, let alone being 4'11". I can't wait to show the world I'm the better striker.
Alright Darwin, chill out lad. So for our first attempt, I'm going to feel things out with a default 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. Although I'm going to encourage our attacking midfielders to shoot less often to encourage passing to Haaland more, and given that he is only 150 centimetres, 4'11", I'm going to make sure we put some low crosses into him. And then it's just a case of simulating the season. A normal size Haaland would absolutely smash this record, but I think a tiny Haaland is going to have a really difficult time. Bruh. Oh, he's only gone and done it in his first attempt. 37 goals, my word. Well, that was pretty easy. I think we have to set a new target. The all-time English top division record is 60 goals in a season, scored by Dixie Dean for Everton in the 1926-27 season. Dixie Dean is a superb name, by the way. I'm just looking through a few goals that he's scored to try and understand maybe a little better how he plays, and he's got on the end of a long ball there and scored an absolute banger. But I do think a tiny Haaland is going to be more suited to a shorter passing of play. So what I think we're going to do is ask our team to pass shorter and also maybe be a bit narrower in their attack as well. I'm also going to take a risk with Haaland's individual tactics as well. I'm going to ask him to roam from position. This means he'll just move around more, trying to find pockets of space to get those short passes into his feet to turn and shoot and score. But I'm also going to ask him to shoot less often. This means that he'll try and take higher quality shots rather than just trying to get as many shots off as possible. And I have had success in the past getting strikers to score more goals with shoot less often turned on. But in this situation it's not quite worked out. Only the 32 league goals, which is still absolutely incredible by the way, but it's not the 60 that we need him to get now. We've still got a few attempts, so I think for attempt number 3, I'm going to go quite different. So my approach this time is to try and get everyone to take as many shots as possible and hope that Erling picks up the scraps. So we've got a shadow striker, an inside forward and an inside forward, all taking as many shots as possible. A lot of those shots are going to get saved, and hopefully Haaland's going to just sit there as a poacher, I think we'll make him actually, to just sort of sit there and clean up every effort that he gets. The defence is a little bit different. We've got full-backs as opposed to wing-backs to ensure that we don't get hit on the counter-attack all the time by committing so many men forward, but I am kind of tempted to maybe move them to wing-backs, but we'll leave it for now. We might do that in the 4th attempt, potentially. As for tactical instructions this time around, I'm actually going to go fairly wide this time. Hopefully that gives Haaland a bit more space in the penalty area to just pick up all of those shots. Much shorter passing as well, a higher tempo of course, and be a bit more expressive. Hopefully we can use our creativity to our advantage to help Haaland score. Everything else is pretty default, to be fair. Counter press, distribute quickly to the fullbacks, play it out from the back sort of thing, a high press, that kind of stuff, all pretty standard. It's either going to work really well or it's not going to work quite as intended, and it'll be Haaland's worst season so far. Oh, okay, it's actually kind of worked, to be fair. He has broken Alan Shearer's record with 35 goals in the Premier League, but still 25 off Dixie Dean's record. And to be fair, it wasn't a great formation for Man City. They were a long way off Liverpool in the end, so they must have conceded quite a few goals. Although it did work out for Haaland, he got 60 in all competitions. So actually maybe we were on the right tracks. I'm going to make some tweaks to the players' roles though, and as you can see, we're going to go for inverted wingers on attack this time as opposed to inside forwards, and the shadow strikers dropped to an attacking midfielder. Hopefully this encourages them to pass the ball to Haaland more than Haaland to pick up on the scraps instead. I mean, it clearly worked because he got 60 goals in all competitions, but if we all focus on just passing the ball to him, that might be better. I've also got rid of be more expressive. I think maybe if we try and keep a rigid formation and just get the ball to Haaland, working it into the penalty area, that's going to be more successful. Oh, no way. I mean, we've not broken the record, but 44 goals is absolutely insane. Interestingly though, he only got 53 in all competitions, but they played way less Champions League games, so they must have got knocked out of that pretty early. So that might be the reason that he's not got as many goals in all competitions. Also, big props to Alexander Riser for getting 30, by the way. I genuinely can't believe how good he is at 4'11". I mean, imagine if he was still his 6'4", 6'5" self. I think he'd easily get those 60 goals here. I mean, okay, he's still the same incredible player with the same great attributes, but his aerial game is completely redundant now because he's so small. Yes, he's got great heading and jumping reach, but a player who's 6'6" with, I don't know, 10 jumping reach is always going to outjump a player who is 4'11" with 15 jumping reach, just because they're starting off at completely different positions. Although, to be fair, he has won 67% of his headers this season. I'm going to assume that most of those are just free headers, because I don't think he's going to win many battles. But that's way higher than I expected. It would be nice in the data hub if there was an ability to just see how many headed goals were scored. We know Haaland scored an insane amount of them, but it doesn't say how many with his head. But I would imagine not many. Oh, but for our final attempt, I don't know if I should just stick with what I've been doing, because I really want to see him get these 60 goals. Personally, I don't think I can make a good enough formation to do that, so I might download one. This is what it looks like in game, and to be fair, actually, it kind of looks a little bit similar to the tactic we used in our third attempt with the inside forwards. But the instructions are way more in depth. They are definitely focused to go down the wings quite significantly, running at defence, more expressive, work the ball into the box. I will put low crosses on though, because that is quite important for Haaland. So let's just see how it goes. Will he get those 60 goals and break Dixie Dean's record? Oh, is almost 56 goals in the Premier League. That's absolutely insane. What a machine he is. 88 goals in all competitions as well. That is phenomenal. Although Man City still couldn't win the Premier League title despite 56 goals from Haaland, so it must be quite leaky at the back. 6-3 against Wolves, 6-3 against West Ham. They lost 3-0 to Arsenal, 4-3 to Liverpool in the Cup that was, 5-0 to Liverpool there. Another 6-3 against Leicester, a 6-2 against Forest, so they score a lot but concede a lot. So you know what, I am absolutely mind blown by how good Tiny Haaland is. It just goes to show that size isn't everything. Anyway, I recently did a video with my girlfriend where I took her to her first ever football match. It's a great day out, make sure you check that one out right now.